Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Really disastrous for a president
to even say
be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was
Backfired.
terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news, and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.
You're watching The Advocate on Plus TV Africa. Time to give honor to whom honor is due. Where were you on June 12, 1993? This Wednesday, June 12, Nigeria marks her delicate and convoluted democracy. It's taken over a decade for the federal government to declare June 12 as our official day of democracy. So this June is the first of its type. It is no longer news that the annulled 1993 elections was widely acclaimed to have been won by Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, aka MKO. However, the fight to seize Nigeria from the claws of the military tyrants also includes these following individuals who shall remain forever dear to us. Kudirat Abiola, wife of MKO, who took up the fight for the release of her husband and the restoration of his mandate. Kudirat was only 44 years old when she was assassinated in 1996 while her husband was still in military detention. Frank Kokori, Secretary General of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas, NUPENG. Frank Kokori literally severed the treasures of the military by instigating the national strike of the members of NUPENG and Pengasson. He basically turned off the tap for the oil. Wole Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, used his international profile to augment the efforts of his comrades back home by calling the attention of the international world to what was happening in Nigeria. Anthony Enahoro, a journalist and one of the leaders of National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, who steered the efforts from the diaspora. He also escaped an assassination attempt by the unforgiving Abacha regime. Chief Gani Fawemi, lawyer and human rights activist, nicknamed Senior Advocate of the Masses because of his unapologetic solidarity with the people. Beko Ransom Kuti, the name gives it away, adopted by Amnesty International as prisoner of conscience. Beko hailed from a family of audacious resistors, including his mother, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, and brother, Fela Anikulapo. He was sentenced to life imprisonment by the Abacha regime, but later released after Abacha's death. Ndubuisi Kanu, a former military man who rejected the dictatorship of his colleagues by joining hands with the pro-democracy movement after his retirement. Alfred Rwani, businessman who epitomized the idiom, "put your money where your mouth is," as one of the major financiers of NADECO. He was murdered by assassins at his home in GRA Ikeja. Alao Akabashoron, former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, and like his learned friend and colleague Gani Fawemi, was known for his legal activism. He not only challenged successive military regimes, he was also one of the leading lawyers who defended MKO during his trial for treason. It is said that on seeing Kudirat's bullet-ridden body, Alao Akabashoron's health went into decline, leading to his subsequent death. Ibrahim Adesanya, Olusegun Oshoba, Ayo Paokun, Colonel Abubakar Umar, Tunji Braithwaite, Bola Ige, Femi Falana, and so many more that we do not have the time to name. We salute you all for your courage and heroic stance, which affords us our freedom today. So, my fellow panelists, do you all remember where you were in 1993 when the elections were annulled? Yeah. And what are your lasting memories?
I absolutely remember. And actually, I wanted to add to your list.
Please go.
Somebody
There's so many.
very important, Humphrey Nwosu.
I
mean, if it wasn't for his courage to actually announce the results, we probably would never have even known. Yeah, so I think it's good to have that in there. But yeah, of course, we really need to celebrate these people. We don't realize, you know, like today when you look at democracy, you just think, oh, what kind of democracy do we really have?
And what did they fight for?
Without these people, we probably wouldn't have had a semblance of democracy at all. So, you know, reading this list, letting us know what these people have sacrificed for us makes me, you know, I actually think, oh, you know, I need to start giving a little bit more credit, you know, where credit is due.
Right,
so,
just to say thank you for bringing this, because you know, I remember that period. For me, it was you know, just like yesterday to remember the whole challenge of that election cycle. I mean, I have so many stories.
When you heard it or not, what went in your? Because I'm curious to know.
I was living with my cousin then, who worked for MKO's newspaper, The Concord. He was deputy editor. So the people would buy on Nanuga. Or, you know, I was working for Guardian then. So I was at home, and then the news came. And somebody actually sent a driver to come and pick him up. And then he now told me the story, and it was just, and of course, the whole pandemonium and everything just started. But I think it's important that we remember these heroes, who some of them lost their lives.
That's right.
You know, and to bring that as a reflection to what's going on today, because democracy is a fight. You constantly nourish it, sometimes with the blood of people. And there's this gentlemen and women who sacrificed, who died. I mean, it's nourished by their blood. Let's not be, you know, think that this is flippant about this and think that and think that, you know, it's just people died.
For us to have.
And sadly, the journey is not complete. We still have vestiges of military rule, and if these people hadn't done what they did, I mean, to think that even when Abacha died, Abdulsalami, who took power, was put under so much pressure that he handed over in less than a year.
Yes, that's right.
It's to show you how much of a pressure that he was put under. You can imagine military with all that might to hand over in less than a year. So it took considerable. I also commend him as well, because again, he could have
said no.
I mean, I guess I'm slightly different in the sense that I don't remember the June 12th. I do remember when Abacha died, though. I couldn't miss it. Because I remember his death coming to Lagos, and the whole place was like a graveyard. People were so afraid. And so I remember this guy has gone, you know. And then also the fact that I don't necessarily take away the people, because I'm sorry, because I'm looking more at the principles they held dear. Because a bit like Chuka's advocacy, people, I rather look at principles, because people come with their mixed resumes. Sometimes you feel, you know, like, and I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. People stood because they may have wanted power. They just happened to be there and they died for it. They wanted power. Not necessarily, may not necessarily have been thinking of giving their life up for us. They just happened to be there at the right time.
But does it matter?
I'm just trying to say,
but I'm asking, does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter in the sense that I'm not trying to uphold the person as a, oh wow, you know, this person is such an icon, because he did what he had to do. He played his part. What I'm looking at is the principle behind what can I take away. That's really what I'm saying. And that's okay. Stand against the odds, stand in the face of established authority, defy it if you have to, and take that away. I would have liked to see more of that this last election, because why I would support anybody who does this, because I hate injustice. I hate the fact that someone won an election and you stopped him from having what was due him. So I hate also what happened this last election. I wish more people got behind I didn't vote for Atiku, but got behind the Atiku.
But we don't know whether Atiku won. This is the difference.
But there was clear rigging. There was clear rigging that took place, and I wasn't happy
but this is different to MKO.
No, I'm not saying Atiku won. Okay, let me make it in a tempered way. Whether Atiku won or not, the fact that the elections were the way they were carried out, there was clearly something wrong with the way the rigging took place. Was such a rape.
I understand.
We should all have said no way.
That might be, but can I just say that might be, but that is not the same as the June 12. No, it is not. My gosh, can we stop mixing up vegetables and fruits?
One has sensational
the people got behind him.
Sorry.
The other does not. Yes.
That election.
I was going to make
that election was actually apparently the most freest and fairest election.
They always say that, but we don't. I don't know.
We need to be. It is down as so.
Threatened and stopped from voting.
No. It was after. No.
Oh, are you talking about MK Abiola?
Oh,
okay. Sorry.
I don't even know about that.
No, but maybe you all need to go and read up on it.
No, we've read that.
That's what she was
everywhere.
saying about let's give credence to Professor Nwosu, who's he took his wisdom in having this new political system in terms of that option A4, where a mix of the voting system where you had to stand behind your candidate, so to speak. It's a very African thing, that's how you vote in the villages. When you're doing this is your man, Abi. Stand behind. Then someone counts it and then records it. I mean, that was really, really quite. I'm not quite sure how that will work now, but it worked then. And that's how we know for a fact that MKO won that election.
Yes.
So it's not questionable.
You don't know that there was still. You don't know. Anyway, can we move away from that?
There are certain things you just can't question whether you like the results or not.
No. Don't say I can't question. Just say I
make
can't
your
prove
point.
it, just as you can. I was going to make my point, and Ekene made it. I prefer to stand behind what happened than the people. I really don't place my. I don't like to talk about people because I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know their real motives. And I thought when all that was going on, I felt that Abiola felt that I don't think he knew he was going to die. He thought that somewhere along the line, something is going to happen, the international community, somebody will come and they'll say, what's all this?
Yeah, but who goes into something expecting to die?
I mean,
I don't understand.
There are people who do.
What are you talking about? When Kudirat got up and started fighting alarm, Nelson Mandela did not
ready to die. He was ready to die.
He was ready to die.
Ready to.
That's the point.
Thank you, Ekene.
If you go back, actually, allow me, if you watched the film about what's Nelson's wife again, Winnie, and you hear people interview Winnie, you would say that the man was not intending to leave his family. Let's stop this. Look here, the fact when Kudirat went out fighting to ensure that her husband is not only released, that his mandate stands, she was not intending to die. Nobody intends to die.
Make your
there
point.
are people who intend to die.
Make your point, though.
They are ready to die.
Make your point.
So I'm with Ekene. I think that I'll just look at what happened and say, okay, look, we've learned lessons about democracy and trying to get it and how people have lost their lives. I won't say they gave up their lives. I won't do that yet.
It's like you went through a battle just there.
I just find it ridiculous that you can claim that unless somebody is intending to die, they haven't done anything. Go out there and try and stop traffic and see if they knock you down. Somebody say he was not intending to die, it was just related to drive factory. Anyway, I would still prefer to salute our heroes. There are times it helps to identify milestones. After the break, Uche unearths insidious happenings in Zamfara.